Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. So this is going to be the sixth video of the programming fundamentals playlist, and in this video we are going to cover very important concept in the programming fundamental. In the last video I discussed about the operator, and I said that we will discuss it in the next video, and this is the video where we are going to discuss operators. Operators are very necessary part of the programming fundamentals, and today we are going to discuss operators. Okay, so there are a lot of things which we are going to cover in this video. Okay, so I need your attention. Okay, so you have to be attentive in this video. Okay, so first of all, what are the operators? In this video we are actually going to cover arithmetic operators, punctuation, precedence, associations, equality, and the relation operators. These are actually the types of operators, but we are going to start with the definition operator. So what is the operator actually? An operator is a symbol that tells the compiler to perform specific mathematical or logical manipulations. Okay, so in the last video we discussed about a plus b. So according to this definition, it's saying that operator is a symbol. So in the last video we discussed that this is a symbol which is a operator. So here operator definition is saying that operator is a symbol that tells the compiler. In the last video I also discussed about the compiler which execute the program, and it should know what is the operator and what are the operations are performing on them. Okay, so this is the compiler which understand these things or syntax of the language. Okay, so operator is a symbol that tells the compiler to perform specific mathematical or logical manipulation. This is actually a mathematical manipulation, like we are adding a value into the b, and in the program maybe we are going to store that particular value in the c variable, like we are going to store this value into the c, like that. Okay, okay, so maybe we are going to store it like that. Okay, so this is the case. Okay, so this is actually the case where we are using operators are, in simple words, are symbols, nothing more than it, and they tells the compiler which kind of operation we are going to perform the values, like mathematical or logical operations. Logical manipulation is something that we handle with the logical operator, which is the type of operators. In the here I am going to discuss types of operators now. Okay, so these are the types of operators, and first is the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operator are nothing but the mathematical manipulations, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so this is actually the arithmetic operators. We will discuss it in detail in this video. Okay, so the next operator type is relational operator. In this we do the comparison. Actually this is you can say this is the part of logical manipulation, like which value is smaller and greater or equal. Okay, something like that. We are also going to discuss in this video. Okay, so the next type of the operators are logical operators. Its name showing that there is some kind of logical manipulation on it. And the next is bitwise operator. This is not actually a very common, but we use in our programs, and it's actually an advanced level where we are building very large scale applications. Okay, so but we will discuss basics of bitwise operators in this video. And the next is assignment operator. Assignment operator is nothing but assigning one variable value to the other. Like in the previous video I discussed this one syntax. So we are giving the b value to the a. Here is important note which I want to mention is that program always any kind of program always executes from executes. Okay, so executes from left to right. Okay, so every program executes left to right. Here we are this statement means assign the b value to the a. So that's all. This is not actually the assign the a value to b. This actually the assign the b value to a. So that's how the program always work in the computer languages. Okay, so always from, oh sorry, not left to right, it's actually right to left, so that's my bad, I'm sorry for this. Okay, so this is actually the executes from right to left. Okay, so this is actually the case. Okay, so next we discuss about assignment operators. The next is misc operators, miscellaneous, okay, operators. Other default operator of programming language, this can be, we will discuss about them, but these are the other operators which are not very useful, but they are present in the languages. Okay, so these are the operators that types which we are going to discuss in this video, and these are the types which is built in most of the languages, and there are some operators that we can develop for our program use, but this will be the advanced video that we should make on the user defined operators, and we will discuss it later. But these are the operators which are built in, and most of the time in the developing the programs we use these kind of operators, not user defined operators. Okay, but they exist, and they are advanced level. Okay, so this is the video actually the programming fundamentals, so that's why we are discussing the built-in operators. Okay, that's all. Okay, so next thing we are going to discuss arithmetic operator, which is the first type of the operator. Okay, so what operator contains, the arithmetic operators contain actually addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Okay, so as you know, adding the value a plus b will give 30. Like if here I am considering the a value is 15 and the b value is 15. Okay, minus subtract second operand from first, like a minus b will give minus 10. Here I am considering that considering that 10 minus 20. Okay, so that's how it's working, and this is multiplies both operands, and a cross b, like it will multiply the a value with the b. Here 100, here I am multiplying 10 multiply 10, and then I have division, which divides the value of b divided by a. That's how it's working. And then modulus operator, which is nothing but a remainder of an integer division, like b modulus a will give 0. Like these are the assuming values which I am using. Okay, so these are the assuming values which I am giving here, values like 0 to 200. I'm sorry for my thought. Okay, so hey, these are the values, assuming values there, and we are giving the results by just assuming the values. This is actually the case that we are using the operators. Modulus is nothing but after dividing give us the remainder. Okay, so this is actually the arithmetic these are the arithmetic operators. Okay, so the next operator that we are going to discuss is unary arithmetic operator. Unary arithmetic operator is actually the type of arithmetic operator. You can say it's a subtype of arithmetic operator, and it's actually it contains it has two parts, plus plus minus minus. Okay, so plus plus is actually the increment operator, and the minus minus is decrement operator. Here I am assuming that a is equal to 10. Okay, so when we use a plus plus, okay, a is the variable name, and plus plus is the syntax of the unary addition increment operator. Okay, so it will give us 11. By default value is 10, but when we use unary increment operator, then it is giving us 11. But when we use decrement operator on a, then it will give us 9. Okay, so this is actually the case. Unary operator, sometimes we need to increment and decrement some things in a program, that's why we use the unary operator. Okay, so these are the arithmetic operators, and then its subtypes. Now I am also going to discuss post increment. Here I am discussed about the simple increment and decrement. Now I am going to discuss post increment and pre increment and post decrement and pre decrement operators. Okay, this is nothing but also the types of these increment operator and the decrement operator. So if I am doing this a plus plus as I discussed in the above statements, then this is called the post increment, which is by default I discuss here. Okay, so post decrement is nothing but as we discussed about the decrement operator. So this is actually the case of post decrement. So what is the pre increment and pre decrement in the unary operator? So this is nothing but we use this increment or decrement operator before the variable name, and when we use the operator in a syntax before the variable name, then it first increment and then use the variable. It's actually the case. Let me give you an example. Like if I have int a is equal to 10, and then I do this, and then I do this. Okay, so this is actually the thing which I want to mention, that here it will give us, it will first read the variable, it first read the variable and then increment. Okay, as its name shows, it's a post increment operator. Okay, so first it read the variable and then increment, but this first increment and then read the variable. Okay, so what is the difference actually in both? This is actually the same case with the post decrement and the pre decrement. Okay, so I am assuming that you will understand the post and pre decrement with the I am just going to explain the post increment and pre increment. Okay, you will get the understanding of post decrement and pre decrement with it. Okay, so this is the case here. I am mentioning that first the compiler reads the a value and then increment. Here first increment and then reads the a value. Okay, so what is the difference both of them? That's actually when the compiler reads it, then its value is a, and then increment, which means when the compiler reads, its value is default and then increment to 11. Okay, but in this case first is increment and then reads. So when it read then its value will be 11. Okay, not 10. So this is actually the case that we sometimes need in developing the programs, that sometimes we need to do pre-decrement or increment, and sometimes we need to do post-increment and decrement. This is actually the type. It's actually all about first read the variable and then increment, or first increment the variable and then read the variable. So this is actually the case of the post-increment, pre-increment. Okay, so this is quite simple. Okay, so the next operator type that we are going to discuss is relational operators. Okay, so what are the relational operators? As I discussed above, the relational operators are nothing but for comparing the things. They are less, greater, or equal. Okay, so two values can be compared using relation and equality operators. For example, to know if two values are equal or if one is greater than the other, and the result of such operations is either true or false. That is a Boolean value. In the data types video, I discuss about the bool data type, which can store only true or false. So this is actually the case. Relation operators, after doing their operation, they gives us value true or false, which we can handle by the bool data type. Okay, which stores true or false. Okay, so the types of relational operators are double is equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. These are the types of relational operators. Let me give you an example. If I have a is equal to 10 and b, okay, so b is equal to 11. Okay, so if I want to check in my program that both values are equal or not, then which kind of operator I should use? Yeah, you are right, we should use equal to operator. Equal to operator is with double is equal to. This is not actually the assignment that we discuss in the early in the last videos that a is equal to b. This is single, and we are going to discuss in this video about this single symbol of the equal. But here is the case of double equal, which means here we are not assigning, but we are comparing the two values, are they equal or not. Okay, so here I am saying that a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 11, and the if I want to check that they are equal or not, then I can and I should use the a double is equal to b. Okay, so the compiler understand that here I am just comparing the values. If they are equal, then the compiler will return true. If they are not equal, then it will return false. Here they are not equal, so the compiler will give us false. Okay, so it will give us false. So this is actually the case of equal to operator. And the next operator is not equal to. I am assuming the same values of a and b, and here I am saying that not equal to. If we want to check that if they are not as equal to, then I can use a. This is the syntax of not equal to in the C++, and most probably it's same in the other languages. And this was the operator for checking if they are equal. This is the operator for checking if they are not equals. Okay, so here they are not equal, so this return the true. Okay, so this is the simple. If we have to check if a is less than b or not. Here it will return us a is less than b, then it will return us true. I am assuming the these values for all operations of relation. Okay, so here is greater than, then it will definitely return us false, because a is not greater than is not greater than b, that's why it is returning us false. Okay, so next is less than and equal to. So it's actually the case where if we want to check if they are less than or equal to, like here I have 10 and here I have b is equal to 11, so a is less than b, that's okay for it. But what is the case when both are equal? Then if we are applying this if we are applying this condition, if both value are same, then it will return false. And because a is not less than b, because they are equal. Okay, so this is the case when we have to check that if they are less or equal. Okay, then we can use the less than or equal to operator. This is showing that if a is less than or equal to b, then return true, otherwise return false. So here is the case that now I change the values, but let me try it. Okay, now it's the case a less than b, and then it's again give us true, but here I'm not checking the equality for it. Same case with the greater than operator. If we have to check greater than or equal to with b, okay, so then we have to use this. Again here it will return false. Here I am not assuming the case of equality. Okay, so this is actually the relation operators. In the next operator that I am going to discuss is logical operators. So logical operators are the nothing but they compare, or you can say let me discuss or read the theoretical part of it, then I give you some examples for it. Okay, so this is the syntax of this is actually the three types of logical operators. First is AND operators, second is OR operator, and the third one is NOT operator. Okay, if you have some background from the DLD or subject, or from the mathematical subject, then you may have an idea of AND or NOT. But if you don't have, then don't worry, I am going to elaborate it. Okay, so logical operators. So logical operators have three types: AND operator, OR operator, and NOT operator. Okay, so AND operator syntax in the C++ or maybe same in the other languages as well. Okay, so AND operator syntax is this, and the OR operator syntax is this, and NOT operator syntax is this. Now let me discuss about the functionality of each of them. Okay, So first is AND operator, and what is AND operator? If both the operands are non-zero, then condition becomes true. Okay, so here okay, here is the operands word is awkward to you maybe. Okay, so what is operand actually? Okay, so what is operand actually? Okay, let me give you an example for this operand. Like okay, let me make it very simple to you. If its AND operator is you, for example, let me write this. For example, if A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0, then this operator, this operation gives us true. Okay, so why? Let me give you an example why. Here it mentioned that if both operands, these are the operand actually, you can say 0 and 0. It's actually the variable value, you can say that the 0 and 0, you can make it 1 and 1, you can make it 0 1, or you can make it 1 0. It's only up to you. Okay, so here it's saying that if both the operands are non-zero, here is non-zero word, but here I make the 0. Let me correct it. It's 1 and it's 1. If both of the operands are non-zero, like here is 1 and here is 1, then the AND operator will give us true. Otherwise, let me write the properly so that you have proper idea of this. Otherwise, if the A value is 0 and the B value is 0, okay, so this operation will give will okay, sorry for spelling, will give us false. Okay, if it's the same case, if we have 1 0, then it's false. If it has the condition and if it has this condition that it is 1 and it is 0, then it will also give us false. This is actually the case of AND operator I am discussing. AND operator is saying that if the value of operands, and I discussed that operands are actually the value of a variable, you can assume that the values, if both are non-zero, if one of them is 0, then we consider it false in the case of AND operator. Okay, if both are non-zero, this means that both are 1, then we will then the AND operator give us true. Otherwise, if each of them is 0, then it will give us false, which is the below cases. Okay, so this is actually the case of AND operator. Now I am going to discuss the case of OR operator. OR operator is saying that if any of the two operand is non-zero, if any, here is if both the operands, but here is if any of the two operand is non-zero, then condition becomes true. Let me give you an example of the above. I hope that I am not messing it in your mind. Okay, so it's logical OR operator whose syntax is that. Okay, so it's saying that if any of two operand is non-zero, means if the operation, like here A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1, here A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 1, both are 1, so the OR operator give us true. And here A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, OR operator will give us false, because here is not 1 in each of the operand. OR operator says that I will give you true if each of them contains a value 1. Okay, here is nothing, variable is containing one value, that's why it's giving us false. Okay, here you can see here is 1 but here is 0, but it will give us false, not is it will give us true value. Okay, because here is the case that it contains 1, at least 1. OR operator says that your operands should contain at least 1, then I will give you true. Here at least 1 was available, that's why true. Here at least 1 is available, that's why true. and here is also at least 1 is available, that's why it's true, but here is not 1 is available, that's why this is giving false. This is actually the case of the OR operator, and OR operator is simply that it says that if your operand at least contain one value, then I will give you true, otherwise false. And the AND operator in simple words says that if your both operand are same, or you can say are non-zero, then I will give true, otherwise false. Like here they are same but they are 0, that's why it's giving false. They should be same and they should be 1, then the AND operator give you true. That was the case of AND operator and the OR operator. Okay, so this is not the concept of actually theoretical, this is the concept of playing with the logical games, but I hope that you understand the logical operator which I want from you to understand from these concepts. Okay, so the next operator is NOT operator. So NOT operator is very simple, it simply reverse the value of the operand if the operand you can say okay, again let me make it simple. Okay, if a is equal to 1 and if I apply the NOT operator on it, then it will reverse the value of a, which is 0, and if it was 0, then I apply NOT operator on it, then it will give us 1. It simply convert the value or change the or reverse the value, you can say, which is which the variable have. Okay, so this is the syntax of this, and this is logical NOT operator used to reverse the logical state of its operand. If the condition is true, then NOT operator will make it false. Okay, so you can make it true or false according to yourself, like 1 is true and 0 is false. In the programming languages we can assume that 1 is true and 0 is false, but I am here considering the case of 0 and 1 so that you can have better understanding of these logical operators. So this is actually the case of NOT operator. Simply reverse the value. If a is equal to 0, then it will, if I use the NOT operator with it, then it will convert or reverse the value if a is equal to 0 to a is equal to 1. Okay, so that's all about the logical operators. Okay, so the next step is bitwise operators. I hope that you are not get bored with this lecture. Okay, so this is actually the theoretical concept, but these are the concepts are very important in the programming language, especially when we have to do different operations in the program, and the program, you can say, is actually the name of operations. Okay, so this is very important lecture. Now we are going to discuss bitwise operators, and the thing I want to mention here, bitwise operator is it's you can say it's a very advanced concept that that I recommend you that you should learn when you have a very good command on the other operators types. Okay, so if this confuse you, then you can skip it, but I have to make video on the bitwise operator. Maybe some of you are here for just the bitwise operators, that's why. Okay, so what are the bitwise operators? Bitwise operators work on bits and perform bit by bit operation. The truth table for these are the you can say syntax for the bitwise. Okay, so what is the bitwise? Is actually perform the bit by bit operations. Here the thing I want to mention that the values or the anything that our program do, it gets stored into the RAM or into the memory. Okay, so how it stores in memory? It's actually the case of bits. It's stored in the bits or bytes. Bytes actually contains 8 bits. That's actually the case of bits. Okay, so anything that we use in the program and it get executed and stored into the memory, and the shape of its storing is into the bits. And if we want to change that bits in memory, we have to use bitwise operators. That the thing it is saying that bitwise operator works on bits, perform bit by bit operations. Okay, this is the case of advanced programs what I am mentioning here. Okay, so this is actually the truth table of the bitwise operator, and bitwise operator contains the operator single, this syntax, this pipeline, or this exponent this power symbol. Okay, so this is actually the case this is actually the truth table. You can say that we can perform that you can understand for understanding the bitwise operator. So if you p and q is the default value, that we can use the 0 and 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 0. This is actually the value that I take for the p and q, and when we apply the bitwise operator and bitwise operator on it, then it will give you 0 0 1 0. This is the same case that I discussed about the AND operator in the logical, that here when both operands are 1, then it will give 1, otherwise it will give 0. And this is the case of OR that we discussed in the logical operator, that it will give 1 whenever the value is at least contain 1. That's why here is 1, here is 1, and here is 1. That's why it is giving us 1 value, but here is not value 1. That's why it's giving us 0. Okay, so this is the XOR. Actually, this is XOR symbol, the XOR operator, you can say, in the programming. And this operator is nothing but it you can say, okay, let me give you an example of it. Like this 0, both are 0, that's why it's 0. Both are 1, that's why it's 0. This XOR operator says that if both of the operand are the same, then I will give 0. Both are same, that's why it's giving 0. Both are same, that's why it's giving 0. But when they are different, then it will give 1, and then it will give 1. So this is actually the case of XOR. Okay, so this is actually the truth table that I want to mention for the bitwise operator to you. And the bitwise operators are nothing but actually perform the bitwise bit by bit operations on your operands, and these bit by bit operations for actually the values which are stored in the memory in the bits. Okay, so we discuss about these operators of the bitwise. Now this is the once complement operator is unary, has the effect of flipping bits. Okay, so it's a once complement operator in the programming that's actually a bitwise operator, and that's only used for the flipping of bits like 0 1 1 0 0 to 0 1 1 0. That's the case, only flipping of the bits. That's why we use the once complement operator. Okay, then I have binary left shift operator and the binary right shift operator. Okay, so the left operand, what the binary left shift operator do, the left operand value is moved left by the number of bits specified by the right operand. There is nothing that is the right operand, and this shift the value of the left operand by the value which is mentioned in the right operand. Okay, so this is actually the case of binary left shift operator. And the binary right shift operator is it's reciprocal of the binary left shift operator, which the left operand's value is moved right by the number of bits specified by the right operand. Okay, so this is actually the case. Right operand is 1, and it will shift the left value to the right. And this is the case. This left operand value, the left operand value will be shifted to the left, which is specified by the right operand, and this will shift the left value of the operand to the right, which is specified by the right operand. So this is actually the binary left and right. This is actually the theoretical part, very theoretical part, that you should understand in the case of binary shift, bitwise operators. And bitwise operators, I discuss about these, and then I also discuss left shift operator and the right shift operator. So this is not very important at the fundamentals, but these are important in the advanced programs. Okay, so if you have not better understanding of it, then I am sorry for it. And I recommend to you that you should learn it after the complete understanding of basics operators or the other operators than bitwise operator. Okay, so this is all about the bitwise operator. So the next operator is assignment operator that I was discussing about here, that this is actually the assigning the value. Here I am assigning 10 value to the a, and I also mentioned that the value and I also mentioned that the program executes from right to left. Okay, so this is actually the case of assignment operator. So we are on the assignment operator, and the assignment operators types are is equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, multiply equal to, divide is equal to, and modulus equal to. Okay, so I already discussed about the modulus, and now I am going to discuss this. This is actually nothing but to assigning the values. First one, okay, so first one is nothing but assigning the values. Like here I am assigning the values of a plus b into the c. Okay, so this is actually the equal operator. This is singles equal. Okay, above I discuss about the equal operator in the arithmetic, in the where was it, let me, okay, equality operator, yeah, here it is. In the relation operators I discuss about the equality operator, which is double is equal to, and this is for the equality checking. But in the assignment operator it's a single equal, and here we just use it to assign the right side value to the left side, because the programs always execute from right to left. Okay, so this is actually the case of assignment operator. Now this is again the assignment operator type, and this is again the assignment operator type, and let me give you an example of it. A is equal to 10, uh, and you can say b is equal to also 10. Okay, so if I am using the a plus is equal to b, then what does it mean? Okay, so this is the syntax which I am using. This is actually the add and assignment operator. This is not actually and, it's actually this one and. Okay, don't confuse it. This is actually small and, you can say it's simple and. Okay, so this is not actually the big and logical operator. Okay, don't confuse it with it. Okay, so a is equal to 10, b is equal to 10, and here I am mentioning that a plus is equal to b. So what is this mean? This mean is simple is that this. Okay, so this is the simple meaning of this line. Okay, this line means that simply store the a plus b value into the a. So here a value is 10, b value is 10, then its line means do 10 plus 10, and it will give us 20, and store the 20 value again into the a. So this is the simple syntax of this, but this is the, you can say, complex syntax, but this is the case that you can use in the assignment operator. This is actually the assignment operator, but with the add. Okay, addition. Okay, so this is the same case with the minus operator, like this, and this is actually the case here. This will again, it will do minus and store the 0 value into the a again. Okay, you can write this in this syntax, you can write this in this syntax, but this is the syntax which is readable, you can say, or this is the syntax which is used by the professionals. So the things I want to mention, that you should know the syntax. Okay, we discuss about the same case with the multiplication, same case with the division, and the same case with the modulus. And the modulus I discuss about it in the above. Okay, so if you have any confusion, you can comment and ask me anything. Okay, so this is actually the case of these assignment operators. The next concept that we are going to discuss is expressions. Okay, so till now we discuss all about the operators: arithmetic operator, relation operators, logical operator, bitwise operator, assignment operator. We didn't discuss about the MISC operators, but these are available, and they are I don't think so these should be mentioned. I don't think so that they should mention in this fundamental playlist. Okay, that's why I'm not mentioning them, but there are other operators as well in the C++ that you can explore by yourself, but I don't recommend them. But the thing I want from you to understand these basics operators first, and then move to the others ones. Okay, so this is all about the operators, and the next thing I want to discuss with you is expressions. We are almost end, but the expressions. Okay, so what is actually the expression? if I say to you that we discuss some impressions in above, okay, what will you say? You will say, oh Talha, what are you saying that we didn't discuss expressions above? But actually the case is that I discussed the expressions above. Expression is nothing but this is expression. Okay, so this is actually the expression. So what is this mean? When we have variable, when we are assigning some value after the operation into the new variable, then you can say it's an expression. This is actually an expression. Okay, so this is a combination of variables, like here uh, combination of variable constants and operators. Here is plus is which is actually a operator, combination of operators, combination of variables, and okay, so this is actually the combination of variables, combination of operators. And what I mean by the constants, you can make them 5 plus 5 with instead of variables. That is the case which you can use, but I am going with the variables. So, okay, so combination of operators, combination of variables, or combination of constants is actually a expression that represent a computation forms an expression. Expression evaluation depends on operator precedence and associativity. Okay, so this is the most important thing that I am going to discuss in this video also. And the expression is nothing but this is the expression in which we have combination of constants and combination of operators and assigning the value to the new variable. This is actually the expression in which we have, you can see that we have combination of equal, combination of add, combination of multiplication operator, and we also have combination of constants instead of combination of variable. And here I have a variable in which I am storing the values of these after the operation. So this is actually our expression. This whole is pronounced as our expression. Okay, so this is all about the expression. But the thing I want to mention that uh, expression evaluation depends on operators precedence and associativity. I want to discuss precedence and the associativity. Okay, so here 7 plus 3 and multiply 2. How the compiler will know that I have to do first plus and then multiplication, or first multiplication and then plus? How the compiler will understand this? Okay, so for understanding this concept for the compiler, we have precedence and the associativity concept that we are going to discuss now, that how the compiler will understand that which kind of operator that should I use. Okay, how compiler will know that I have to do this equal operator after the plus operator and after the multiplication operator, or how the compiler will know that I have to do multiplication operator after the plus operator. This all about depend on the precedence and the associativity. So I am going to discuss it now. Okay, so before going to a precedence and the associativity, I want to mention that arithmetic, Boolean, relational, bitwise constants are the types of expression. These are actually expression are actually made with the operators, and the operators are arithmetic, Boolean, relation, bitwise, and that's the case. That's why we can say that expression can be of the form arithmetic, Boolean, relation, bitwise constants. Okay, so this is actually the forms of expression. Now the most important thing which we are going to discuss about operator precedence and the associativity. Okay, so operator precedence determines which operator is performed first in an expression with more than one operator with different precedence. Okay, so what is operator precedence? In simple words, this determine that which operator this simply determine or tell the compiler that this is the operator that you should execute first, and then this is the second operator that you should execute, and then this is the third operator that you should execute. Okay, so this is actually all depend on the operator precedence. So we discuss about this precedence in this video also. Okay, so here is the question: is operator precedence same in all languages? Okay, so operator precedence, or you can say operator precedence means operator priority, which operator has the highest priority and which operator has the lowest priority. This is actually the operator precedence. Okay, so here is the question that this priority matters in from language to language. So the answer is yes, this operator precedence get changed from language to language, and the answer of this question is no, that the question is that operator precedence same in all languages. Then the answer is no, it will not remain same, it will get changed. Okay, it will get changed from language to language, because every language has different operators. Like the C++ has this operator, and this is actually the scope resolution operator, don't confuse it. It's again, it's actually a advanced operator there, you don't have to confuse it. This C++ has this operator, but the C doesn't. Okay, so the precedence gets changed from language to language because of the operators presence in the languages. Okay, so this is actually the case. Is operator precedence same in all languages. Okay, so now here is I am going to discuss the here I am going to discuss the operator precedence of plus and the operator precedence of multiplication and the operator precedence of equality. Okay, so here x is assigned 13. After this x will be assigned with 13. Why? Okay, so the question is why. There can be two things that the x can be assigned or not. Okay, x can be assigned with the 13, x can be assigned with the 20, but when we execute when I execute this program, then I print the x value, then I came to know that x value is 13. So I was confused that what is the reason that why it is not printing 20, why it's printing 13. So then I came to know that, oh, it's actually the case of operator precedence. This is actually the case of operator precedence, that operator multiplication has higher precedence or higher priority than the plus. That's why this one has higher priority, then this first multiply, and this value, for example 3 multiplied 2 is 6, and this 6 plus 7 will save the 13 into the x. Okay, so that is the case, which is the operator precedence, operator priority, that actually used in the expressions by the compiler for understanding or for doing evaluation of the operators. Okay, so it first get multiplied with 3 multiplied 2 and then adds into 7. Okay, so this is actually the example of operator precedence. Okay, so we discuss about the operator precedence. Now we also discuss about the operator associativity. So here I am going to discuss the associativity. Okay, operator associativity is nothing but is used when two operators are same. Okay, so we discuss about the different operators, like sometimes it's plus and sometimes it's multiply. So these are different and they have different precedence, and then compiler can understand that which operator should it execute first according to their precedence. But what if the case the operators are same? Okay, so the operators are same, their precedence are same, how the compiler will know that which operator should it run first or execute first? Okay, so we have to tell it. Okay, so this here is the concept of associativity. It's actually is nothing when two operators of same precedence appear in the expression. Okay, of same precedence, like here it's mentioning that, let me give you an example first. Multiply and division, they have same precedence. Like let me give you another example, like this is the case, but the precedence table or the priority table of operators have the same priority for the multiplication and division, they are equal. Then how the compiler will know that it should execute the multiplication first or should execute the division first? So it's it's actually the hard time for the compiler. So here is the concept of associativity come to the point. Okay, so associativity is nothing but when the expression has same precedence operator. Okay, have the two operators of same precedence, like here I mentioned. Okay, so then we can use associativity. So what is the associativity is left to right or right to left. Okay, so here is the come to the here is the concept of associativity come to the point. So if the associativity, here associativity can be left to right or can be right to left. Okay, so if the let's suppose I don't know what is the associativity of multiplication and division, even is left to right or right to left, but I am assuming that it's left to right. Then first multiply, first the compiler run this operation, and then compiler run this operation. Okay, if the associativity is right to left, then first this and the second this. Okay, so this is actually the associativity when the operators of same precedence come into the point. That's why we use associativity concept. And when the operators of different precedence, then we can use the table of precedence for getting for the compiler, so that the compiler judge which operator should it run or execute first. Okay, so oh, okay, so this is actually the case of, okay, so this is actually the case of associativity and precedence. Okay, now the last thing of this video is about the table of the associativity and the precedence. Okay, so this is column of the operators, and this is the precedence of operators, and this is actually the associativity. And again, sorry for the spellings. Okay, so this is the actually the associativity. Okay, so here is the case operators. Brackets are small brackets and the large brackets. Okay, so they have same. Okay, the another thing I am want to mention that, yeah, here already mentioned that operators with highest precedence appear at the top of the table, those with the lowest appear at the bottom. Within an expression, highest precedence operator will be evaluated first. Okay, simple the thing is, this table is working from higher precedence to lower precedence. Okay, higher precedence to lower precedence. This means this has the highest precedence, these are the highest precedence, and this has the highest precedence, then this has the, yani this is coming from higher to low. Okay, so sorry for the background noise, it's actually the WhatsApp messages, and again sorry for this. Okay, so again this is actually from higher to low. Okay, so this is actually the high priority for it. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is actually, this has the highest priority, then this has highest, then this, then this, then this, and the lowest priority of the OR operator, logical OR operator. So this is actually the precedence. And what is the associativity? Like these small brackets and larger brackets have the same precedence, and if they appear in the expression, then it will use the concept of associativity, and the concept is left to right. First it will evaluate the small if the small is on left side, and then it will execute the large brackets if large brackets are on the right side of the small brackets. Okay, so this is actually the case of associativity and the precedence. Okay, so that's all for the today lecture. In the today lecture we discuss about the operators. Operators are nothing but symbols, and these are used to do operations. We discuss about the operations, then we discuss about the expression are the nothing but the variables, combination of variables and the operators that we do. But we also discussed about the different operation when the different operators come into the expression, then how the compiler will know that which operator should I execute first. Then we use the concept of precedence, but the precedence concept also fails when the operators of same precedence come into the expression, then we use the concept of associativity, which is mentioned in the table, that left to right, left to right, left to right, or right to left. Here is the right to left, and this is actually the associativity concept that we should or you can use, or the compiler use when it finds the operators of same precedence in a single expression. Okay, so this is actually the case of operators expressions, and that's all. Okay, so another thing I want to mention the last, that we discussed about above, that the when we do the assigning, like when I discussed that if we are using this, then it will go right to left. This is actually the because of this. This is because you can see here its associativity is right to left. That's why it's moving right to left. Okay, so this is the syntax that I am using in simple. This is actually the, this can be right actually like that. Okay, so this operator has a precedent, sorry, associativity from right to left. That's why I was saying that it will execute in this way. Okay, so here like equal, like here equal, I also mentioned that, so it will execute in this way, right to left. Okay, so this was the case. That's why I was mentioning that these kind of assignment operators execute from right to left because of the associativity concept. Okay, for that's all for the today lecture. And the another side note I want to mention, that above I mentioned that the program execute from right to left. That's actually not the program. That's actually the equal to operator, plus equal to operator, minus equal to operator. These operators execute from right to left because their associativity is from right to left. Other things are left to right, that's why they execute from left to right. Okay, so that's all for today lecture, and thank you very much for watching this video. And I am a student of programming, and I can do any mistake. If you find any kind of mistake in my channel, or in my channel videos, in this video, in the previous video, on the videos that I am going to upload soon, if you find any kind of problem, you can let me know in the comment section. Okay, thank you very much again for watching, and Allah Hafiz.